On April 19th, 2024, this video was uploaded by Bobby Gamer YT, showing off the world he's been working on.
Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I will show survival world. This my world.
He shows us his mine.
This is my mine. I will mine for a bit.
He gathers some coal, then as he's walking back to his house, we see a figure running away before the video ends. So after watching the video again, the figure doesn't just show up at the end. The figure has been watching Bobby since the start of the recording. It's watching as Bobby walks out of his house, it's standing in the forest as Bobby makes his way to the mine. It's only at the end of the recording, when Bobby is arriving home, the figure gets caught. And there's something else I noticed. Between all of the figure sightings, there's some kind of glitch or cut in the footage. Figure, cut. Figure, cut, figure. Okay, there's one more thing. The mining scene. Bobby goes down into a fresh mine. There's no strip mine entrances, no gap where ores used to be, a perfect stone staircase, with coal ore waiting exposed right at the bottom. This means that sometime before Bobby started recording, he mined down, saw the coal, and didn't mine it. He left it there. This would make sense if Bobby was late game. If he already has a chest of coal at his base, why would he need more? But clearly this is early game. Bobby lives in a wooden shack. Why would he avoid mining ore? Hey, you know what? Maybe that's just me. I can give that a pass. It's strange, but not groundbreaking. Except Bobby in the video goes down into the mine, mines it, and then leaves a piece behind. This is not the behavior of any Minecraft player I've ever seen. So in the very first video, we have a player who does not know how to play, a shadowy figure who does not know how to hide, and a world showcase video full of cuts and glitches. This isn't just an investigation into the figure. That's only part of the puzzle. There are things at play here we don't yet understand. But I'm gonna get to the bottom of the channel called The next video in the series, Weird World, shows Bobby in his house explaining that he's gonna go mining for stone. He retraces his steps from the previous video and heads down into the mine. After only a few seconds of mining, he seemingly teleports to another single-player world. He's next to a house, and across the river is a mountainside cottage. Bobby notices that both houses are empty. He finds a mine next to the house and heads down. The next video, Farm Time, shows Bobby back at his base. He welcomes us again to the video and apologizes for his bad typing, which means he's at least aware of his bad spelling. Bobby tells us that today he's going to make a farm, and then spends the next minute and 20 seconds making a farm that is completely unusable. As soon as Bobby takes his focus away from his project, he notices a hole he hasn't seen before. He walks up to it, and this was definitely not naturally generated. Bobby starts making his way back to the base when he runs into a cobblestone structure. It looks kind of like a throne to me. Bobby doesn't like it and decides to demolish parts of it before realizing it's getting too dark, and continues his journey home. Once he's safe inside, he realizes he had torches on him the whole time, and he could have placed them down to finish demolishing the structure. He thanks us for watching, and this video ends. There's clearly some entity watching and interacting with Bobby. The character watching in the shadows, the throne, the pit. We don't have a motivation as to why. We also don't have a motivation as to why Bobby keeps playing either. He's clearly new to the game, so why so much commitment? Why does he need to show us these menial tasks? Birthday.mp4 opens with Bobby in his base, right where we left off from the previous video. He tells us it's his birthday. He mentions how in the last video, something was over by these trees. He's right, something was over there, but that was 3 videos ago. Actually, before we continue, let's check out the description. Just what I thought. A timestamp, 04/02/2018, which would make my cool survival world 04/01/2018. It's time for a timeline. Weird World is April 4th, 2018, which puts it after birthday, and Farm Time is April 3rd, 2018, which puts it before Weird World. So this whole time, we've been watching this series of videos in reverse chronological order. Before we continue further down this rabbit hole, I noticed I stumble across these types of channels kinda often, usually ones that no one else has found before. If you like this kind of video, you should subscribe right now. You can always undo it later. I also have a Discord server where I like to chill in a VC and listen to music while I edit. When I'm not editing, I play on my survival server and I'm kinda lonely. I think the server is pretty awesome, but don't hear it from me, here's some happy players! What do you like to do on the server?
Oh yeah, I just like to build. That's all I like to do.
I like making a lot of money on the server and flexing it.
What do you think about the server in general?
No, it's ass. It's
sucks.
Symptoms of joining the server may include metallic taste, blistering, peeling skin, hair-changing color, eyebrows and eyelashes falling out, brittle nails, fingertip pain, uncontrollable shaking, seizures, hallucinations, muscle coordination, sudden hearing loss, dementia, temporary blindness, dark-colored urine, explosive diarrhea, rectal bleeding, extreme weight loss, bluish skin discoloration, slow wound healing, dementia, gangrene, dangerously low white blood cell count, dementia, swollen lymph nodes, coma.
Ask your doctor to see what Zeko's Discord server can do for you. Returning to birthday, Bobby mentioned how something was over the trees and he's gonna go check it out. He starts to walk in the direction where he remembers it being, but then the video glitches and Bobby starts heading back towards the base. He thanks us for watching and the video ends. Two things really stick out to me in this video. When Bobby was typing out the line, "something appeared here," he starts typing some DEM before he rewrites what he was gonna say. Bobby has a suspicion that he's being watched by a demon, but isn't fully sure. At the very end of the video, Bobby is out of sight of the base. He changes his perspective, thanking us for watching and wishing us well, but for the few frames after he changes his perspective back to first person, he's staring right into his base. I was really curious about this, so I slowed down the footage even more, frame by frame, and Bobby didn't actually teleport or cut the video, it's just super sped up, where he goes from in the field to near the house in 3 frames. Why did Bobby give up so quickly after the video glitched? Why was the video sped up at the very end for no reason? In Hole, Bobby is in the woods chopping down trees when he stumbles upon a hole in the ground. There's a light source emanating from it. Looking down, there's a ladder descending only around 5 blocks into a stone brick cellar. We see a book on one wall and a sign on glass saying "Work in Progress." As he's looking around, the sounds of trapdoors opening and closing can be heard. Bobby leaves the cellar and sees a figure running towards the ravine, but after following, it's gone. Bobby makes his way back to his base and reads the book. "Hello, is he here? I'm searching." The second and last page shows a binary string which, when decoded, says, "He's here, I remember him." This video takes place on May 1st, 2018, almost exactly a month after Weird World. So if this is a month later, why has Bobby's base not changed at all? During his videos, we see him mining and chopping trees, so we know he has resources. Why has he not built anything? The only reason I can think of is that he only plays Minecraft to record videos. He only plays on this world to catch something. To prove my theory, let's take a look at the next video. Can you hear me? Bobby's not at his base. This is a totally new area. Bobby quickly notices the entity watching him through the window. Bobby follows, but it's gone. Returning to the base, Bobby starts to write out a sign. "Hello, can you hear me?" Then he writes, "Can you see me?" And finally, "Are you here?" It's in this video that I realized why these videos are being made. It's a means of communication. These videos are being edited, distorted, and corrupted, but in ways meant to communicate with us. I wonder if the entity that runs away from Bobby and the entity that distorts the videos are the same. This next video takes place over a month later in the timeline. Bobby appears to be AFK on his bed in his base, and we see the entity lingering outside the house, but once again, disappears when Bobby goes to chase it. It's clear that Bobby's in the world to find something, and find something he does. In Piston Hack, Bobby explains that his friend taught him this piston clipping hack supposedly so he could walk through walls, but that's not what happens. Bobby activates the machine and gets teleported somewhere. His inventory is cleared. He's in a dark tunnel and there's a distant light at the end of it. He makes his way down it and finds a small dark room. He opens the chest to find a book, but as soon as he grabs it, the video pauses and Morse code begins to play. As soon as the Morse code ends, the video continues and Bobby opens up the book to find this. Bobby then makes his way further down the corridor. He finds a room very close in style to the cellar and hole, but this time there's 4 glass blocks. The first 2 saying day 1 and the second 2 saying day 2. Continuing through to the next room, more Morse code begins to play again, but the video doesn't pause. Upon pushing the button, the video ends. In the video found, Bobby's at the end of a bridge. Oop, scratch that. Creeper Craft is at the end of a bridge, and he's looking for Bobby. There's someone at the other end, but we can't quite make them out before they run into the cave. Creeper grabs a torch and heads into the cave and realizes it's a dead end. I don't know if that was Bobby, but after rewatching several times, I caught this. A string of numbers that I very quickly realized was an A1Z26 cipher. And it decrypts to, he's here. I'm looking for him too. Have you seen? He went missing. The entity that's been warning Bobby this whole time lost him. Is Bobby the other player in this world? In the video, Cool Shop I Made, Creeper's inside his house explaining that he's going to show us his cool dirt shop. He crafts some iron tools and heads over, and there it is. With amazing trades such as iron tools for 9 diamonds and food for 102 diamonds, he heads back into his base and thanks us for watching. So Creeper is behaving in the exact same manner that Bobby used to, building or doing an absurd thing, showing it off, then ending the video. But before we move on to the next video, there was one more thing I noticed. Creeper's base reminded me of a base we briefly saw earlier in the series. In Weird World, this base was just slapped on top of the mountain house, but Creeper has never been to that base. At least not that we know of. In My Awesome Tree, we watch Creeper show us his tree. He seems to like this tree a lot and it reminds him of something. But today he's going to chop it down. After breaking the first block, Creeper receives a book in his inventory. Inside it reads, "We will be best friends. I know where you live." This tree appears to represent Creeper's real life. I infer this because as Creeper's remembering what the tree reminds him of, we get an image not from the game. We're looking up a dark staircase in a room with blue walls with a repeating cloud pattern. But the image only lasts a moment before Creeper is looking back at the tree. As soon as he chops it, he's immediately informed that he's gained a friend. A dangerous friend. This is, whether forced or not, a pact that has been made with the demon, who's captured its next victim. It looks like the demon needs time to fully infect a host, and it looks like the demon tricks the host into thinking that it's their friend beforehand in order to get them to do what it needs. Which explains why Bobby said, "My friend taught me this," before resetting the cycle. So if before Creeper was Bobby, then before Bobby was... I don't know how many hosts there have been, but this is all happening on the same server. If there are evil spirits, then there can be good ones too. Bobby was warped here as a warning that he's not the first and he won't be the last. Actually, it looks like almost all of the visual glitches in Morse code were warnings to try to stop Bobby from walking to his own death.